Okay,
We are recording.
continue. Tempting, I almost hit lead meeting. Anyway, okay. Well, we wanted to cover a few issues today just to make sure everyone's current. The first being the commencement, where we're continuing to look at that to be held September the 1st. It will be held on campus. At this point in time, it looks like it will be held outside. We'll be converting parking lot 12 into the site. We will comply with whatever the latest rules are on large gatherings. At that time, currently we're around 100, so it does look like we will need to do 2 sessions for the commencement. So we'll likely have one late morning and one in the probably the late afternoon, so we can hopefully hit the cooler times of the day. So that's exciting. The caps and gowns will be available through the bookstore beginning August 24th. I'm looking at Casey and getting the thumbs up. All right, good. And that will be, you're welcome to keep them following the commencement. And there will be no charge to the students for the caps and gowns. And while we're talking about the bookstore for everybody that's out there in live and in recorded land, we do want to remind you that if you rented textbooks in the spring, please, please, please return them in a timely fashion, because we want to avoid seeing you charged, and they do need to come back, because the expectation is they will get reused again, and that's part of the model. So very important. I don't know, Casey, if you want to say anything on that, any additional?
Yep, as of today, we still have about 400 rental books still out for the spring semester. So I have been following up with students that still have outstanding books. You know, one big thing I've noticed is if students aren't checking their student email address, you know, that could be a big thing. Or if the phone number that they provided has changed. So we're trying to kind of work around some of those issues that have come up. But we're trying to get those books back however we can, to get the students, you know, those accounts clean and cleared, so that when they come back and they want to, you know, sign up for more classes and get more books, they can rent again with us in the fall. So
yeah, so again, if you have a book that you took out for the spring semester, make sure you get that back. And if there's any delays, reach out to, what is it, bookstore@capecod.edu, and you'll roll right up to Casey's email, and they'll work with you. The fellow people are really good with helping us through the challenges, as we've had quite a few of them of late, but we're doing well. So thank you, Casey, and we're looking forward to gearing up for commencement and for the fall. So get those books back. So as we think a little bit more about the fall, you've probably heard the different types of courses that we're looking at offering, whether it's online, remote, or hybrid. And despite what some people think, hybrid does not mean the course is taught in a Toyota Prius. It's actually a type of class. So, okay, I'm just seeing if you're all live out there, because, you know, it's a small group, so we want everybody to be engaged. At this point, I'd like to turn over the discussion to Vice President Rodriguez, just to give us some more clarity on the definitions, the distinctions, and where to look to figure out what kind of class it is that you're signing up for.
Thank you, President Cox. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so glad you made it, and I hope that this will help clarify some questions you might have. So thank you, Mia, for working the slides. I'm going to have them also play on my other computer here. So if you see me looking to the side, that's what I'm looking at. So as we've announced, fall classes will be taught in 3 different formats. One is remote, one is hybrid, one is online. The remote class means that all of your work is done online with scheduled virtual meetings through Zoom. We use Zoom during the meeting times during the week. So I'll show you an example so you know. If you have a Tuesday, Thursday class, it says on your calendar, on your schedule, it meets Tuesday, Thursdays, and it's remote at 9:30. From 9:30 to 10:45. It means on Tuesdays and Thursdays, from 9:30 to 10:45, you will be on Zoom. And all your other work, your papers, your exams would be done online. So, but again, I'll show you an example to clarify, but remote means that during very specific times, you'll be doing what we're doing right now, meeting on remote, and the teacher will have specific assignments for you to do during the Zoom time. The hybrid course, that's a blend of online course teaching as well as on-campus teaching. So the hybrid class, for example, could be a science lab, where maybe you do your lectures in a Zoom room like this, and then you do your labs on campus. A few science classes, a few of the fine and performing arts classes will be done on campus, and I'll show you how we're taking every step to be very careful to maintain everybody's safety, but also create a very vibrant learning environment. And then online, all of your work will be done online with no meeting times. Cape Cod Community College has been doing online classes for many years, and you may have taken one already. It's when you do all your work via Moodle. You're not necessarily using Zoom at all. The big difference between remote and online is remote, you are meeting on Zoom during very specific times. Those times listed on your schedule. Online, you do not have a Zoom meeting. And hybrid is a little bit of both. Nia, could we go to the next slide? Because I want to show you how this looks when you register for classes or when you're meeting with your advisor. So a remote class, again, you're going to be meeting live streaming on Zoom and doing your work online. So how will you know that a class is remote? If you look at this example here, if you're signing up for the Python class, the computer programming class with Professor David Bresky, you see that it says TR 2 p.m. to 3:15 p.m. online remote. That means on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 p.m. to 3:15 p.m. you will be online. This is all, your work is done online. Remember, with remote, you're doing your work online, but you're meeting at that time from 2 to 3:15. You're live streaming via Zoom. So that's how you will know. You will see that on the schedule when it says remote live streaming, that as a student, you would be expected to be meeting in the Zoom room for this class specifically, 2 to 3:15. Whatever time is listed, that's when you would need to be there. Nia, could you go to the next slide, please? So again, just to be clear, remote, what does that mean? It means for Professor Bresky's class, you're on Zoom Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 3:15. The faculty will send you a link and a password for every Zoom class. We are now using passwords to enter the Zoom rooms in order to, for security reasons. And then as students, you will use that link and password to join the room. The coursework is going to be done online through Moodle. So if you have a quiz, if you have a project, if you have an exam, that'll be done online through Moodle, which is our learning management system. So that's remote. Now for hybrid, again, hybrid is a little bit of both, online and on campus. How will you know that a course is hybrid? You can see it right there. Hybrid, this is a general biology lab taught by Professor Callender. And you can see that it says hybrid on campus. That means there are going to be certain days that you will have to be on campus to do the lab work. And you can see which days here. Tuesdays between 1 and 3:50, you're going to be in the science building G3. So Mia, if you could please go to the next slide. So what does that mean? For Professor Callender's Biology 151 lab course, specific Tuesdays, you'll be in the lab on campus, and the dates for those specific labs will be sent to the students by the faculty. So it may not be every Tuesday. It may be every other Tuesday, but the professor will let you know which dates you would be expected to be on campus. So some of you may be asking, well, if I'm coming on campus, how is that going to be done? What are you doing to make sure? Do we have to wear a mask? Do we have to do physical distancing? So yes, on-campus classes, how will that be done? Faculty and students will be required to have face masks. Physical distancing will be followed and maintained. And in each class, there will be disinfectant wipes, any spare masks in case you forget your mask or your mask, the elastic rips, that's happened to me, and hand sanitizer will be in the classroom. And if you are in a class that uses special equipment like paintbrushes, your faculty member will show you how to clean them and how to do any special procedure that might be required. Your faculty member will show you that. So that will be hybrid. So if you we had a lot of students say they missed being on campus. They learn better when they're on campus. The hybrid course gives you a chance to do a little bit of online learning, but also be on campus and be in a very safe environment. Okay. And lastly, online. Online courses completely online. We've been offering them for many years, so you may have taken one already. And how will you know that a class is online? Well, let's look at this example. This is the Computer Graphics 1 class with Professor Karen, and you will see that right there where it says schedule, it says online. Notice it doesn't say Tuesday, Thursday. It doesn't say Tuesday from 1 to 4. It doesn't say any of that. It is all completely online. You would just simply receive all the links as you would through Moodle, as you would for any other online class, and you would not be required to come onto campus. Also, you're not required to have a special Zoom session. So look at your schedule, look at how your day is going to be worked out, and choose. We've tried to make as many of each course in different types, remote, online, hybrid, to make sure we can satisfy your schedule and meet your needs. And lastly, as just to be consistent, what does that mean? For Professor Karen's course, all the work is online with no set meeting times. So thank you, Mia. We are working and making lots of plans to make sure everyone is safe during the semester. We will have masks and disinfectant wipes and hand sanitizer. We will have special parking spaces to make sure that we are able to manage student traffic. I will share that this past summer, actually we're still doing it now, several of our programs are working on campus. So for example, if you were taking the EMT program this summer, they have been meeting on campus. The CNA program has had meetings on campus, and our aviation maintenance program out of the Plymouth Airport has been meeting at the airport. And everyone has been following the regulations, and everything is going very well. And students are able to learn and take their labs and complete their work. So we're very confident moving forward for the fall that we will be prepared for whichever modality you take. I will share that we've been doing a lot of work, a lot of workshops and research on teaching online and using Zoom. So the faculty members feel very confident that they will be able to deliver rigorous but also vibrant creative classes in the fall. So please let me know if you have any questions. Later. I think we're going through everything and then we'll do question and answers at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Rodriguez. One piece I would just add as sort of a footnote: when you come on campus, there is actually before you come on campus, there's a self-certification process, if you will, that we're going to begin to require everybody to go through, where you just reflect on where you are health-wise. Do you have a temperature? Do you have any aches or pains? And I believe we're going to have an app or a bot, whatever. I'm looking at Rick there, that will give some guidance with the questions to be asked. And then based on how you answer those questions, it'll suggest that you're okay to come on campus, or you may need to take the day and let's see what happens. But we want you to be consciously aware of where you are health-wise before you come onto campus, because it's very important that we try to keep the environment as healthy as possible.
We're going to use a link in the campus web
Okay.
that most students are familiar with.
And that'll be rolling out in the next few weeks before the beginning of the semester. So you'll get more familiar with that as we progress. And then while AVP Wixom is in the room here, if you will, we do have a laptop loaner program available, and we've had several people take advantage of it in the past semester and over the summer, and it'll get ramped up again for the fall. And Rick, if you want to say a few words about that.
No, you kind of said everything. We have laptops available, so if you don't have a camera on your home computer and you would like to join Zoom meetings and you need to have the visual aspect of it, you are more than welcome to come to campus, and we will loan you a laptop for the semester. We have you sign a form that says you're going to bring it back at a certain date, but all in all, it's a fairly easy and simple process to go through.
So as we're moving closer to the fall, I just want to compliment everybody on their staying power and their ability to continue on with their studies. I think it's tremendous. I know there's a lot of uncertainty as to where things are going to be when September rolls around, and then also what will develop over the course of the fall semester. But again, knowing that we're following the latest in the advice that we're getting through the Centers for Disease Control and through Massachusetts Public Health Department. And we continue to evolve, and we make the changes that we need to make. And ultimately, I think even on things such as the commencement, you may see it'll be tweaked before we get to September based on the guidance that we get in terms of spacing and whatever else will happen between now and then. But we're current. We get briefings every day, and we will continue to do our best to maintain your health and safety on the campus and as you get to and fro. And speaking of the web page and the website, we have Patrick Stone just to give us an update on where we are. Some of you may have noticed that it's changed a little bit over the last few weeks. It's becoming a little more modern, more robust, I think is the term we use. And Patrick, you need to jump in before I say too much, and then you give me another Rick thing.
All right, well, thank you, President Cox. Yes, so hopefully you've noticed we have a new website. Last month we launched the new 4Cs website after about a year and change of working on it. It was built thanks in part to feedback from students who we did a lot of focus grouping last year, and members of our faculty and staff. And so over the past year, we worked on it and tweaked it and honed it to give us a modern website, as President Cox mentioned, to bring the website up to the standards we really wanted it to be at, and to put us on a new CMS, a new content management system. So as we were building out the website and as we went live last month, we had a few major focus areas in building it out and how we were prioritizing what we wanted the website to do. Primarily, our audience for this, when we think about the website, is students. And if you were familiar with our old website, we had sort of a lot of blended opportunities. There was a little bit of redundancy. We had faculty and staff pages and student pages. Our focus on the new website is for students, and particularly prospective students. You'll notice a lot heavy focus on programs and courses and ease to be able to get into those programs and courses. So again, if you're a new student coming here, we want to make that pretty clear as you're landing, that we know when you're coming, the first thing you're thinking about is, what programs do we have here? What courses can I take? We wanted to make that as easy to find and as easy to navigate through as possible. Again, making the site student-centric, we wanted to eliminate a lot of those redundancies and create a more seamless process of helping students figure out how to go to college. A lot of, when you go to college websites, it can be a little inside baseball. It can be a little tricky to figure out how to go to college. And so we wanted to make the website a little bit more step-by-step to help walk you through. So instead of bouncing you to a dozen pages to get you through the enrollment process of how to become a student, really try to make that as few pages as possible and as easy as possible for you to get through. You'll notice there's some new features on the site. Probably the most prominent one, which is relatively new, having gone live this month, is our live chat on the front page. And so you get pinged when you open up the website to do a live chat. And you can speak to admissions personnel live as they're sitting there ready to answer your questions, and information technology, which goes to our help desk. Coming soon, we'll also have the library staff available on the live chat. We also have a dynamic search engine on the site that we control. It's a third-party search engine, so we can see what's being searched. And so we can better hone results so that as you're going through and you're searching for pages, we can, on the back end, me and my team, we can look at it and make sure that you're getting the results that you need through the search. We have graduate and student profiles on our front page, and a hub for on our main page, if you scroll down a bit underneath the video, which houses our resources for COVID-19. So it's been a lot of work, and a lot of the way it's been structured is built on the feedback that we received from students throughout the process, which was excellent. And it's a living document. Websites are, they're not static. They change every day. We're working on it every day. We're working to make it better every day. Thanks in part to your feedback, which we've received a lot of, and we're very much appreciative for it. So keep that feedback coming in. Let us know what's working, what's not working, what we can get better at. We appreciate your patience as we've rolled this out. It's always a challenge to roll out a new website at any point in time, let alone in the middle of a pandemic. That made things extra fun for all of us. So we appreciate your feedback and your patience as we got through it. And we look forward to hearing from you more.
So as we start off with questions, I know, Maureen, I think we have 2 questions that have come in via the email. Would you like to start with those?
Certainly. We have a question from Charissa Courier. She's a second-year nursing student and would like to know what the clinical experience will look like, if they will have any chances for an in-person experience, or if they would have to wait until the end of the semester or the year in order to fulfill the clinical requirements.
And VP Rodriguez, would you like to?
Of course. Great question. We are still waiting on some word to get more specific details about clinicals. But right now we're looking at later in the fall during clinicals and in the spring. But there will still be opportunities, many opportunities to do some simulation work and some virtual work for students. We are pretty much beholden to our regulatory body, BORN, the Board of Registration of Nursing. So once they start to change the regulations on clinicals, we will be able to return full-fledged to clinicals. Okay. But please know, Clarissa, that this changes a lot.
And there's another question that came in from Taylor Walsh, who would like to know if the gym will be open.
At this particular moment, there's not a plan to reopen that for the beginning of the fall semester. Okay,
I think, do we see the question from Caitlin Ramis?
Yeah,
okay, I thought you were going to.
I see a hand up, and now the hand, there it is again. Katie, you have a question?
Very much. I was just asking, does that externship refer to also for the medical assistant program by any chance? For those of us that weren't able to get our hours in last semester, just wondering if those like rules apply to that too. Thank you.
Great question, Katie. We again are waiting on the regulatory bodies and also the sites, the externship sites, to approve us to go back.
Thank you. I would so with that being said, we don't have to re-register for the fall, do we? Because if that's the only thing that we were missing, are we just kind of like status quo, or should we be hearing back from our advisor?
I would reach out to your advisor, Katie, and I will make sure that the chairperson of the program, Gwen Dyson, reaches out to students to confirm the procedures for that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. We'll do that.
There's a question from Caitlin. Will students be able to visit the Student Wellness Center if needed? And Dean McCary, it looks like you have a response ready to go.
Yes, so beginning the fall semester, social distance appointments may be available through the Wellness Center. I encourage any student to contact wellness@capecod.edu to discuss that with Mara Ware. She can get back to you. We also have virtual and phone appointments available now for students that may need it.
Okay. And then Tennille is asking, I think I missed it, but will the nursing students be meeting on campus at all for the fall?
Tennille, right now, most of the work will be done virtually. There may be special occasions which a faculty member would announce at the beginning, but right now, nursing is going virtual.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question. Please let me know. Please feel free to reach out if you have any others.
And I would just remind everybody, if you have questions, you can send them to president@capecod.edu, and we get you the answers to every question that we receive. So it's sometimes it may take a little bit of time, but we get back to everybody.
And President Cox, there was one last question asking if there would be a follow-up for the fall 2021 session. Would there be another? I believe he's asking if there'll be another session or any kind of.
Before we get to fall semester or fall of next year?
Fall. Yeah, he's calling fall 2021. This question is coming from David Chilcutt.
I would say this, we'll have another session before the fall semester begins. And I am sure we will have multiple sessions before fall of 2021 begins. And those plans are, shall we say, very fluid at this point in time, but you know, stay tuned, because we're a work in progress. Any other questions? All right, well, we appreciate everyone's time today, and if questions come up along the way, please feel free to either write us or call us, but we'll be having more to come over the next few months before we get into fall. And I look forward to seeing you all at commencement.
Paul, Harry has one question. Would the Advanced Culinary Arts offer the luncheon series on campus?
Paul, that has not been decided.
Yeah, that's stay tuned on that one. I'm hopeful, but we'll see, because we won't ultimately get the call on that. That'll be the advice from the state and the CDC. I miss my luncheons.
It's good.
All right, let's all run over to the bookstore. Buy some books.
That would be nice.
All right.
Well, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.